Welcome to CoinBook. My name is Calvin Waite, and I'm a professional crypto trader. I really like getting feedback from you guys about the market, what you're trading, successes, failures. So I'm going to go ahead and start giving out a t-shirt every week now. What I'll do is I'll look at all comments from Thursday to Thursday, and then Friday select a random winner. Good morning, everybody. Looks like the top of yesterday's candle was the one to break. And so right here, we are moving up. We have a green candle today. So this is kind of interesting because I definitely would have expected a little bit more excitement coming off of the top of yesterday's candle. And our high was 19,567. And I told you yesterday that if we touch our all-time high, our golden line, we're gonna launch. It takes a ton of energy and a ton of pressure to break a support that has been resistant, a resistance line that has lasted for essentially since the 2017 run, but Bitcoin's, obviously never broken its all-time high, right? So when we get to all-time highs that in areas where Bitcoin's never traded before, it will take a lot of money and a lot of effort to get there. So if we get up to this line, we will likely really explode. If we don't, we're going to get rejected. So it was just a little odd to me that we didn't show too much excitement across this, and I kind of looked through to see what would be slowing down Bitcoin at this point. And you know what's funny is it turns out that our line that we used as support, and then we finally crossed it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna delete this because its usefulness is over. Well, the funny thing is if I turn off log scale, look where the line is right now. So when log scale is off, we had support, support, support. When we finally broke through support, guess what happened? It flipped to resistance. We've had resistance on this line for 3 days. That's why this move wasn't so intense when we broke such a tight range yesterday. These tight ranges usually break out pretty hard, so this was unusual to me. And so we're looking at this line as being resistance. So what information does that add to our trading? It's kind of telling us that there's more pressure going on. Normally, when we've got about a month and a half long support level that breaks, it's not going to be the easiest thing to break across. But alternatively, 3 days working on the chipping away at this is also nothing to scoff at. This is the type of activity you would need to break it. So it's not going to hug this line forever. It's going to break either way. But if we get, like, let's say tomorrow we hug this line, and then the next day we do it again, but then we start touching the prior all-time high and we start messing with all-time highs, we're going to see a decision within 2 days, I'm betting. So this is something that this is hard to predict. I know that on the weekly we're way overextended, so we will come down at some point. But in the short term, it's hard to say. There are cases for the bull side, and this is a case for the bearish side where we've flipped to resistance again. So we'll just have to be watching closely and see what happens. So our altcoin market has continued to decrease in market cap. So we're down to 10.18 million Bitcoin as a market cap for all altcoins, and we're staying in our range pretty tight. I mean, even our highs and lows are within our range. So we're really watching this to see what happens. There's one development that's happened on Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has officially entered a green zone, and what that means is that our trend lines have straightened themselves out. We have a close above the 50, above the 100, and the 200s on bottom. So what does this mean? This means that this is essentially this is a bullish pattern, because once we get into this formation, there's generally strength where we have closes above all support lines, and we have the 150 that are moving up. So does this mean that there's more Bitcoin dominance to be seen in the future? It sure can be. So we are waiting. We haven't seen an altcoin market breakout of any kind that would say, hey, altcoin season is here. So we're just being patient and waiting. But we have seen green zones on the Bitcoin dominance chart in the past. There was a brief one back here, and then alts took off and took over the market. There was a big one back in 2019. Look at this move here, where Bitcoin dominance ended the red zone here and just went way high, and then it went all the way up to here. So when we entered the Bitcoin dominance entering the green zone here, it was a big move. This is it went up by 11.7%. So you can't look at this 19%, since we're already in Bitcoin dominance as a percent. So it increased 11.74%. So pretty big move once we got in the green zone, but we're just waiting. There is structure here, and when things change and break down, we will be ready. So that's what we're watching for. When the FOMO starts and everyone joins in, you and I both take the back door, exit that position. Today I wanted to really dig into the economics of FLR, which is the airdrop that's coming off of XRP. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, XRP just completely launched. It went straight up, and then it kind of traded a little bit sideways, and all this happened because there was an airdrop that everybody that had XRP was going to receive a portion of the of FLR as a 1-to-1 ratio for how many XRP they hold. After the snapshot, the token finally XRP finally kind of dropped a bit. So in my speculation, I believe that the entire run, all of this excitement, had to do with this FLR airdrop. So I thought it would make sense to talk to you guys about about this new token and what the economics of the token are. So if you haven't seen my how to trade video on choosing the right coin, you should watch this, because this will explain a lot about how money supply and how new coins can be mispriced ridiculously. So you need to be aware of what will likely happen. So I got onto CoinMarketCap to see if I can get any information about this new token. It's called Spark, and the ticker is FLR. So this Spark token, if you click on website, it brings up this website. It didn't give me very much information, so I went and found the white paper. This is some seriously enjoyable literature. It just kind of goes on and on. So But what I'm interested in, I'm not interested in how it works, what benefits there are, all of the cool details and all the smart contracts and all the neat stuff that they are inventing. I am looking at this from a pure economic trading standpoint. And what I'm looking for is the distribution, the max coin supply. I want to know what kind of competition there is for these coins. There is competition because if you can move an entire market up at least double and nearly triple for just announcing that you can get these, there are a lot of eyes on this. There's a lot of interest, and there are people that are going to be really excited about it. So we have a lot of emotions. We have a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation. This is how they are going to distribute these. It says a snapshot will be taken at a specified date. That's already done. At the inception of the FLR network, 100 billion tokens will be created. This is a huge number, absolutely huge. It says 45 billion tokens will be claimable for 6 months by XRP token holders, excluding known Ripple Lab accounts. So what's going to happen is that they will have an apportionment formula. So at the end of a claim period, unclaimed tokens will be deleted. So that means that there will be likely less. So I did discover how they're going to be distributing this. It's not all going to be dumped at the same time, and there are some variables in how it will be distributed. So they are creating 1 billion networks at the outset, but if you go down, there are groups that are excluded. So that means that Jed McCaleb and other people are actually being excluded from the distribution. Also, any Ripple Inc. These so there's some that are not going to be distributed. They've also implemented a 1 billion XRP cap, which means that anyone who holds more than 1 billion is going to be limited to 1 billion tokens. And then this is what's even more interesting to me. It says what you will receive and when. So we've kind of chopped our number down, and I'm not going to really try to do the math. I'm going to estimate maybe, if half of them are held by Ripple, and we got a lot by Jed McCaleb and all of this and that, and I mean we might estimate maybe 25 to 30 billion tokens. Well, what's going to happen is that at the launch of the network, 15% of those will be distributed to the people who are earning them, and they will be distributed over a period of 25 to 34 months for everybody that had XRP at the snapshot. So there's going to be periods of time when these tokens will show up on the market. Okay, so this is to set the stage. There's a lot of interest, there's a lot of excitement, there are a ton of coins, but at the offset, we're going to have a very, very small amount. So if you, from this video that I did, what happens when there's a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, and there's a limited supply? Prices are going to be inflated a lot. And especially when you have a coin that has a lot of supply. So I did this video not long ago. It's called A Formula to Predict Crypto Price. And what I did was I put the current price of coins versus their total coin supply in 2050. And I found a very tight correlation. The R squared was 0.67. And I excluded some outliers, coins that have really taken off. But I kind of wanted to plug into the formula. Let's pretend that there will be 30 billion coins. So the formula is in millions. So we'll take 30,000 million coins, and then we're going to raise it to the negative 0.293 power. And then we're going to multiply this by 493167. This will give us the price in Satoshis that the average project would be priced at. 36 Satoshis. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, well how come XRP is trading at 2,450 Satoshis? Well, this is an outlier. There's a lot of interest and demand, and they are one of the few that actually made it to these levels regardless of that gigantic coin supply. But just based on coin supply alone, the prices, if it was an average project, so I'm gonna say, you know, maybe it's gonna be, let's just say it's 100 times average. So even if it was 100 times average, the point of this is that eventually our price will probably come back down to 3,600 Satoshis after all the hype and all of the excitement has died down and everything has settled. So when we see prices that are 1,000 times that or 100 times that, there is going to be a lot of incentive to sell from a trading perspective. As we've mentioned earlier, if only 15% of the total amount is going to show up in the beginning stages, our supply is going to be squeezed so hard that it's going to be very, very difficult to get a hold of these. And so at the beginning, we may see prices higher than we will ever see on this until the rest of those billions of coins come into the market. So everyone on my channel should be very, very aware that if you're interested long-term in this project, you will want to wait before you start buying and holding for an accumulation. You're going to want to be very, very careful because they are going to be way overpriced. And for a trader, our advantage will be to liquidate coins and increase our amount of Bitcoin or dollars, so that by the time things go back down, we are in a great spot to buy a ton of this or whatever, if it's something that you absolutely believe in. So I just want to give you that heads up, because the economics of this coin are going to be really out of whack. And I don't want anyone that's on my channel to be caught off guard or caught by surprise on that.
Okay, it is time to separate the CoinBook trolls from the CoinBook fans. So, these are the magnificent t-shirts that we are giving away every Friday. These are individually packaged with love from your best friends, China. There's also this incredible option designed by yours truly. And we'll be giving away probably one or two of these every Friday to just a random comment on any of the videos over the past week. But, and I don't blame you, if you absolutely cannot live without one of these shirts, I am willing to part with them for $15 worth of your favorite crypto. Just reach out to me on social media and we'll get you guys hooked up.